Hi, my name is Priscilla Manning. I'm here with Premiere at Groove Tie Studios to perform my EP Sandman, and you can find me at Priscilla Manning on all platforms and on Instagram and any other social media. My name is Priscilla Manning, and I'm from South Florida, like Broward County.
What kind of artist are you?
I'm an alternative R&B artist. That's like the best way I can describe it.
Before we talk about your work, who are you beyond what you create?
Um, well, besides being a creative, um, I like to give. I'm a giver. I'm an overthinker. um, and I'm just very extroverted. I just like being myself in any way, shape, or form that I can be.
What experiences or influences shape the way that you see the world?
It's a lot of personal experience. It can come from heartbreak. It can come from experience with other people, friendship breakups, family issues, stuff like that. So I feel like I just talk about what maybe you talk about. What do you talk about with your friends? What do you talk about with your family? What do you talk about with your significant others? Like that type of conversation. Sandman is my EP that I just released. She's my baby and she's my pride and joy. She comes from personal experience as a woman in the music industry, as a young woman, a young black woman in the music industry, as a young woman navigating love and relationships. And I just feel like it does a good job of touching all the bases in all its different forms. No, no, I feel like traveling around my galaxy. I feel like there's another.
What chapter of your life are we stepping into through this project?
Probably a more adult version of me, just because I feel like the stuff that I've put out before this was like stepping into it. It was a little kiddie, but now like I'm cussing in my music. I didn't used to cuss in my music. I'm talking about sex. I'm talking about love. I'm talking about those type of things. When I was in the seventh grade, shout out to Mr. R, my old band teacher. He's dope. But we had this thing called making a band where all the kids would get together and they would play drums, guitar, piano, singers, and we would put on a showcase at the end of the year. So one year I asked my teacher, I said, can I sing one of my songs? Can I write something? And he was like, yeah. So he literally helped me arrange it with the bassist, with the pianist, with the drummer, and I was able to perform my own song on stage. I was 12. And I just remember being like, oh my God, wait, this is actually really cool. I can do this. And then that's kind of where it started.
What question, idea, or feeling were you trying to explore through this work?
I was really trying to just dissect how I would feel in a moment, just because for me, songwriting is therapy and it's how I'm able to be the most vulnerable that I can be. So it was kind of like my version of journaling, where I took how I was feeling and I put it into words. And then I was like, wait, now let me put it to a beat. Wait, now let me record it. And then that's kind of how it happened.
When did you know this project had found its identity?
So I love like the folklore of the Sandman. The person who would enter your house, sprinkle sand over your head, give you good dreams. But there was also like a darker version of his story of that parents would tell their kids to kind of make them go to sleep. So I kind of wanted to use the title of the EP to correlate with how I was feeling, which was escapism. I wanted to escape my reality. And that's kind of where the idea of Sandman came from. And Sandman could be your vices. It could be what you go to at the end of the night, a drink, a cold smoke. It could be that corner of the bar. It could be a significant other that you know you're not supposed to be with. For me, it can be the industry, in the music industry, and how I've experienced things and what I've gone through. So it's really up to your interpretation of him and how he helps you escape from your reality.
What part of your creative process do people rarely get to see?
The songwriting, just because for me, my lyrics make sense to me. And it's like, I love songwriting camps and I love being in the studio and collaborating with people. But one of the questions that I hate getting asked is, what does that even mean? Like it's right there. But I get really picky with how I word things sometimes, just because my Caribbean heritage also has me saying things a certain way. And I kind of integrate that into my music a lot. So sometimes it's hard for it to translate over sometimes. But I think it's doing pretty well now. I think it's going good.
What challenge forced you to grow the most while creating this?
Taking time, because I really just wanted to do it and get it over with, just because I've always wanted to put out a project. So I just wanted to write something up, draft it, and send it out. But then my team was like, you need to sit down and you need to think creatively. You need to really sit with yourself and you need to figure out what you want and what you want to do. This is your baby. Put love and care into it. You know what I mean? And it definitely did help because I was able to sit and think. And I'm a reader, so I love books. So just reading books and being put into that reality really helped me for sure.
Now we'll go into your legacy and why this matters.
Mm-hmm.
How has your community or Atlanta influenced your perspective as a creative?
My hometown definitely helped me build the foundation and it helped me realize my strength as a singer. But it wasn't until I left home and I experienced life is when I was actually able to dive deeper into my songwriting. And they always say, like, you gotta leave your hometown. It's true. You gotta leave your hometown and you have to experience life outside of it to really understand how the real world works outside of it. And it's definitely helped shift a lot for me, for sure. And Atlanta itself has just done me good because I feel like for R&B, it's kind of harder to break out in South Florida because they're more of an like alternative scene down there versus here, like it's Black music, it's Black creatives, it's a Black community. And it helped me kind of connect more with that side of me that I didn't really get to living down there for sure.
What's something you believe about creativity or your industry that most people disagree with?
It's okay to be yourself. You don't have to follow what everybody else is doing. I definitely feel like when I moved here, like baddie culture is a thing. So that wasn't really what I resonated with, which was kind of hard. But it's okay if you want to do something different. Like I do alternative R&B just because mainstream R&B, I love it, but I wanted to be able to do more with it. And I feel like, and that's why I slapped the alternative label onto it for sure.
What do you hope people create, think, or feel after experiencing your work?
I hope they feel released. I feel like it goes through all the stages of grief that you can go through. So I feel like I hope after you're able to just sit and be like, okay.
Years from now, what do you hope people remember? Not just about your work, but about the person behind it.
I hope they saw me for who I am and not just as an artist. I'm definitely more of a person. I have a lot of layers to myself, and obviously the way that you present yourself in your artistry can be pretty polished sometimes, but I'm like you, I'm human. I'm imperfect, and I live my life the way that you live your life.
I take the blood, I take the Sandman, come and share it from mine.